I'm really bad at it. I really appreciate you guys on this journey with me of, I don't know, becoming a more mature adult. Good morning, welcome to FiberLoveDiary. Happy New Year, welcome to 2020, here we are. I did film a stash flash for you, and as you can see, it's all put back away. This is not my whole stash, obviously. Some of you know when I originally started this channel, I really just wanted to document my fiber projects, and so I want to do better at that. I'm not somebody who normally makes New Year's resolutions. I always feel like if I need to work on something, I need to just start working on it. It doesn't need to be the first day of the year or month or anything. But for whatever reason, this does feel like a new start in a way, and I did do the stash flash, and I will put that in as soon as I just show some projects that I finished so far this year. And then one thing that I finished right before Christmas, but it has something that goes with it that's not done yet. So I finished right before Christmas the Norland hat. I don't know if you guys have seen it. The pattern's on Ravelry and I will link it. Oh wow, you can see it really pretty well. It is straight color work because I've been asked if it's different types of knitting. It's straight stranded knitting. I'm gonna put it on even though I didn't weave the ends in or block it yet. It's been in my bag because there's mittens that go with it, and I'm getting ready to start those as soon as I finish a couple things for family members. So, isn't that cute? It's really not hard. It's so pretty, and I'm excited to make the mittens. But like I said, I have a few things like in the queue ahead of that. So, and the yarn for this that I used was for the dark blue. And by the way, I tried like 4 different combinations because I wanted it to be perfect. The dark blue is Knit Picks Stroll in the colorway Inverness. And then the white is Cascade Heritage Silk. And I bought a bunch of bear skeins to dye, and it's like a little whiter than a lot of the ones that are just wool, and I really wanted it to pop hard. So that's what this one is. I'm gonna link to those below. And I don't knit Christmas presents usually. I only made one this year. If you follow me on Instagram, you saw it. It was one of those unicorn hoods. I will put a picture in. This week I finished a pair of socks from the KFI. I can't remember exactly what it's called. The colorway is called Green Bay, and that's a Knitting Fever sock yarn, and they come in 2 little balls together as a set, and there's like 218 yards in each ball. So I knit these 2 up because I wanted to make sure that I used all the yarn, and because I wanted to get all the color changes in it. But I have to say, and this is more just like for people's information, if you really want them to match perfectly and you buy these, make sure that you pull out the yarn on both balls and match up the beginning of the first color change, because on the second sock, which was this one, the green at the beginning was like way longer than the green at the beginning of this one. Because what I did was start from the toe with a Turkish cast on, and I measure, this sounds so Trish, but I measure from the bottom of my elbow to like where I'm holding it in my thumb, so that I start in the exact same place when I cast on, because I wanted the stripes to match up perfectly. And if I'm matching something perfectly, that's how I always do it. I like cut it at a color change and then whatever. So I think that makes sense. If not, maybe someone tell me if it doesn't, and I'll put it in a video later where I actually show you how I do it. But anyways, the toe on this one, the green toe, was like way longer. And when I say way, it was probably like a 1/2 inch color change. And I'm sorry, but when you want your colors to match up perfectly, a 1/2 inch shift is gonna look like this. And it's like just enough, just look at the top, just enough to feel like you were trying to make it match, but you didn't make it happen. So I actually don't mind socks that don't match, but that wasn't my intent here. and that like one little shift, that does not work for me. It either has to be a lot different or pretty close to identical. So, but I love them. Aren't they cute? And they're too small for me. I haven't knit toe up socks with a heel flap in a couple years, and I've only done it like once or twice before, so I did not knit far enough before I started the increases right here. And so a friend of mine tried them on while I was at the knit shop, and I had the first one done, and she was like, oh, they fit perfectly, and I already bought this colorway, so she's just gonna trade me the yarn for the socks. Works out perfectly, so I can still make myself a pair. And last, I have a hat that I knit for my stepson. We were at a skating party, and my stepson and his partner both were like, why don't you ever knit us hats? And I'm like, you never showed any interest. And you do have to tell me if you want something from me, because I love to knit for people, and I don't believe in the whole knit-worthy thing, but I also usually wait until someone expresses an interest in what I'm doing, because I don't want to give them something that they're like, thanks. So, and it happens no matter how beautiful it is, because some people just think if you made a gift, like you didn't want to buy them a gift, which isn't the case. We know that, but you know what I'm saying. So it is hand-spun BFL. I bought the wool. This one's not showing up as well. Oh, that's good. At Rhinebeck in 2017, and I spun it up, I think last year, and it is so pretty. And on the tag in the wool, which I still have, it doesn't show the name of the vendor. So I'm sorry, you guys, I don't know who I bought it from. But I had 8 ounces, and I'm gonna make him, he works at the zoo. Isn't that cute? He works at the zoo in Detroit. So he's outside a lot, going from like enclosure to enclosure, I guess they call them. So I'm gonna make him like fingerless gloves with the flap. I know they call them glittens. I don't really like that name, but I'm gonna make him a pair and his partner a pair. His partner's hat is still in progress, so when it's done, I'll show it to you. Anyways, I'm kind of in love with it, and I think I'll have enough to make myself a hat too, because it's cute. It's really nice. I didn't use a pattern for this, and I didn't really use a pattern for these either, but I'll at least link you to the yarns or someplace you can get the yarns, because I'm kind of like loving all my projects this year so far. I also am about to cast on for a poncho. You guys, I've knit for 40 years. I've never, ever knit a poncho. So I'm about to cast on for one that has cables. It's a new Knit Picks pattern from a book that I bought, and I will show it to you as soon as it's done or in progress. I almost forgot. Oh, okay, my hair's crazy from the hat. All right, I almost forgot. So I have a spinning project going. You guys probably wonder why you haven't seen me spin lately. It's been almost 4 weeks, I think. But okay, so last year I have a friend, oh, still crazy. Okay, I have a friend in California, and last year she was sending me links to a shawl called Wild Swan, and I was like, oh, I have that in my queue already. It's a free pattern. I'll link it below. And she wanted something colorway similar to the one in the pattern pictures, and I didn't have anything in my stash that looked anything like it. And so she tossed her own stash, I think. I don't think she bought it, and found something similar, and she spun it herself. By the way, is the tense, past tense, is it she spun it? That sounds weird to me. It can't be she spinned it, so it must be she spun it, but whatever. So she made the yarn, and then she sent me some pictures, so I will be inserting some pictures so you can see, and then I knit it for her and blocked it here and then mailed it to her in California. So I can't show it to you because I don't have it anymore, but I do have a few photos. As you can see, they're gonna be in this. So I loved it so much, and I loved knitting it. I did some techniques that I don't think I've really done before. So I really want to knit myself one, and I'm spinning for one. The colorway is the Bitter Lime Gradient, and I'm going to show you what pictures I have. I only have one picture of the fiber before I started spinning it. And I'm on the last color now, and I'll be plying soon. I am going to be chain plying because I want to keep those color repeats, And I'm sort of, you guys know, I'm not a technical spinner at all. Like measuring grist and cards and all that stuff, it's totally not me. I don't disrespect it, but it's totally not me. So I'm right now just like at that point where I'm totally crossing my fingers that I have enough yardage. Crossing your fingers is not the best technique for getting good technical spinning, by the way, but it is my technique. So I will be able to tell you guys by next week if I had enough yardage, but it's taking me 3 weeks to spin these singles, but they're so beautiful. And onto the stash flash. So my original plan was to just say, I'll buy what I want. But as I brought probably 24 trips worth of tubs and bags and everything else up here, I started to feel like maybe it is time for me to scale back a little bit and spin more too, because I in particular brought up just trip after trip of washed fleece, and the mountain is pretty huge. Maybe I do need to make a goal about using this before I buy more. I have to think about it a little bit. I'm gonna have to put all this away. But I'm thinking like when I put it away, maybe I'll try to be a little more organized, but I mean, maybe not. See, it's not so bad. It's not that crazy. Okay, those are up on a couch. Oh, wow. I don't even know if I can get far enough back to get the whole thing. We're gonna try it. This is insane. Not quite. So, were you surprised by how much I had when I brought it in here?
No more surprised than you were about one of my hobbies when we moved.
So you are surprised then, because I was like, holy crap.
I knew you had a little.
This doesn't surprise you, really?
Yeah, a little.
Oh. What do you think of it?
Does it make you happy?
Right now it makes me kind of anxious. Like I'm kind of like, what? So as long as it makes me happy, you don't care? Is that what you're trying to say?
Pretty much.
This is raw, or not raw, washed fleece, all in this end. Going all the way up to there. And then obviously yarn is all down here. That's wool, and that's wool. And then fully prepped fleece ready to spin is all back there. Sorry, it's a little... So that's my stash, and as I mentioned in the video, I was 100% ready to just be like, I'll buy whatever I want. I don't have to think about curtailing my purchases or even being careful or whatever. You guys, it took me I don't know how many trips to get it all in one room, and I've joked before about the fact that I separate it so it seems like less. That's not 100% really true. I mean, it does seem like less when you separate it, but I separate it because I don't have a studio in this house, which is fine, but I need to store everything in like closets and smaller areas because we also don't have a basement in our house. We just have what's called a crawl space. I don't know, does everyone know what a crawl space is? It's gross. You don't want to store wool down there. It's like damp. No. So anyway, bringing it all into one room made me feel a lot of emotions, but one of them is that it really is too much. And so going forward, this is not a resolution because I don't want to tie it to the beginning of the year, but it is tied to getting all that stuff in one room for sure, that I really, going forward, I really need to make more of an effort to just slow it down a little bit. So I'm not quite there making a full goal per se, but I am gonna look at figuring out some way to track, I don't know, incoming and outgoing so that I have a better handle on it, because when it's all tucked away in closets and all that stuff, it's just so easy to just keep putting stuff in the closet. And you know, there's hoarding in my family. I really don't want to go down that road. And even if it's tidy and tucked away and not like the hoarding on TV, which by the way is like, whoa. I mean, I don't really want to go there myself. So I'm gonna make some work of that. I've started tracking how much I've knit and how much I've spun for the year, just to give me some numbers. You can find those trackers on my Ravelry profile if you want to follow along. And I'm also going to do better at photographing projects. I really appreciate you guys on this journey with me of, I don't know, becoming a more mature adult. So I'm glad you guys are on this journey with me. I'm actually really glad that I got that sort of overwhelmed, embarrassed feeling, because that's what's gonna motivate me to make change. And hopefully I'll watch the video again later when I sort of start to lose that motivation, because we all do, right? So if you have goals for this year, I would love to hear what they are. So, and you still have a chance to win the December Paradise box. There is a giveaway if you comment on a video between the last unboxing and the next unboxing. You are entered to win, and we're giving away the December box right now, and it was really sweet. Hey, happy 2020. It's exciting. The sun is actually shining today, so I don't know what to think about that. And I will talk to you guys soon. There will be a dyeing video up next week, but I think before that gets up, there will be an unboxing of the next Paradise and announcing of the winner for the December box. I will talk to you guys soon.